Choose to ignore. Again, if you're on chat websites, if you're on some of the popular chatting website, Chat Roulette, or some of the other ones that are out there, the kids in here know which ones are popular. If you don't know the people, don't add them. Don't add them as a friend. Don't chat with them. Don't talk to them. If they try to talk to you, just delete them or ignore them and talk to the people that you know. Be safe and be smart when you're online, okay? Privacy. How many of you with Facebook pages have your privacy settings turned on? Okay? How many have them turned off? Anybody can see your Facebook page. I know this is a lie because my partner over there accessed a whole bunch of Facebook pages before we came out here. So if you don't have your privacy settings turned on, turn them on so that people that don't know you can't access your Facebook pages. How many did you?
I'm guessing I looked at 20 to 30 and I didn't find a single one that I couldn't view everything. All your photos, everything.
20 to 30, he said. 20 to 30 he scanned through before we came out here. He was able to see photos. He was able to see your information. And here's the thing, okay? So I'm going to play this out for you, how this works. Somebody gets to where they want to stalk you. Somebody gets fixated on you, right? And you're saying, well, I'm not at risk. I don't put anything out there. Ah, but you have your high school, right? So you can communicate with other kids from Palmyra. That's step number one. Then you're wearing your jersey, or your volleyball outfit, or your cheerleading outfit. There you go. There's step number two. So then they can figure out if they live in Lincoln or Omaha. They know you live in Palmyra and go to Palmyra High Schools, and they can find out when the games are. They know you're a cheerleader. Maybe there's half a dozen or a dozen cheerleaders. And then all of a sudden they go to one game, and they got you pegged. They know what you look like. They know everything about you. They can follow you if they want to. Those are the realities. This isn't fictional stuff that I'm talking about. These are things that actually happen. So think about it, girls, when you're posting online and you're putting this stuff out there for the world to see, think about what can happen. Pics, again, just be careful what you show. Some of you guys, high school seniors, I'm just curious, how many in this room are high school seniors? Okay. You guys are going to be going off to the real world, and I say the real world kind of tongue-in-cheek, but you're going to be going off to college, you're going to be going outside of your parents' homes, and you're going to be looking for jobs, you're going to be looking for careers, you're going to be, maybe some of you want to be nurses, maybe some of you want to be teachers, or whatever your job is. Today's day and age, everybody looks online. They look at your online content. They look at where you're going. They look at what you're posting. And now, all of a sudden, you're having to answer for a posting that you put about maybe racist comments. I've seen that. People posting racist comments as a young kid on a MySpace page that they haven't even accessed for maybe 4 years. But I dig into it and I end up finding these things. All of these things are something you need to think about. Pictures of yourself, maybe being rowdy, maybe vomiting, or whatever kind of pictures you take of each other. These are things that are going to come back to potentially haunt you. So you need to be careful about what you're posting and what you're putting online. Sexting. This is one of the, I guess, biggest problems that we have. We have kids who, just like all of you, decide one day that they're going to take a picture of themselves naked. Right? I'm sure some of the kids in this room know somebody that took a picture or have sent one. Think about, again, what it is that you're doing, especially girls. And guys aren't immune to it either, but the girls especially, when somebody's trying to convince you to take a picture of yourself or take a picture of you without your clothes on or something, just ask yourself why that is that they're asking for that. And what happens if that gets out, if it goes to the whole school, and all of a sudden you wake up the next morning and your picture just went viral. And the whole entire school has a picture of that, of you, in your birthday suit or whatever. That's something to think about, okay? That it's reality, it happens. Don't do it. Don't do it. Another interesting thing, does anybody in this room know what the penalty is for manufacturing or distribution of child pornography. Does anybody know what the penalty is? Does anybody want to guess? It's a Class 1D felony, okay? A Class 1D felony holds a maximum penalty in prison of 50 years. 50 years in prison. So that means you're 19, you're in college, thinking you're on top of the world, and now your girlfriend, who might be in high school or however it ends up working out, sends you a picture, and you send it to one of your buddies. You just distributed child pornography. You just committed a 1D felony if you get caught, and stand to spend 50 years in prison, potentially, if convicted, be placed on the sex offender registry, and have your life overnight flipped upside down. Just like that. And if you think you're immune as a child, I can guarantee you that you're not. We prosecute kids, and we have prosecuted kids, or prosecutors in different counties have prosecuted kids that have done that very thing in juvenile court. You have to think about this, boys. If you guys think that it's cool or whatever, if you are doing these kinds of things, you need to be aware of what it is that you're risking when you're doing it.
Let me forget.
You know I'm sneaking out.
It's too early. Are you? It's 9 o'clock the party. 9:15. 9.
I heard it was 2 a.m.
Hey, check this out.
That's cool.
Yo, what up?
Whoa! Yo, man. Yo, send that to me real quick. I'm not gonna. Come on, send that to me.
Man, you a pimp.
Yo, you
Pull it up full screen. Look at that, boys. Check that out, boys. I gotta. I had to send this to Mark.
Send that out now.
There it is. That's the picture, and it's, it's a video, and some of you may be looking at it. Here's the reality, is that actually happens. It happens everywhere. For you parents in the room, the only advice I can give you, I've talked to a lot of parents. I can tell you, I've talked to too many parents in the last couple of years with very similar issues. I've contacted these folks. Take control of what's happening with your children. That's the only thing I can tell you, is don't wait for something to happen. Don't be so scared of violating their privacy or making them feel like you're too much in their lives that you allow them to go anywhere, do anything, and be unmonitored online. You wouldn't let them go down to North Omaha in an area where there's gang violence and all kinds of things happening every day of the week, drugs. You would protect them. You would say, no, you're not going out there. The internet is not some sort of a mystical place. There are so many risks online for kids that you have to take the initiative and take control and monitor what's happening and make sure that your kids are safe. If you sit idly by and do nothing, then they're very much prone to making a bad decision that puts them in a position to be exploited. You have to take control. Manipulated to meet offline. This happens all the time. These guys don't come out. They won't come out and say, hey, I'm a 16-year-old. This is the first time we've ever chatted. Send me a naked pic, by the way. No, they won't do that. They'll tell you they're 16. They'll talk to you. They'll make you feel good. They'll make you think that you're the best thing in the world. And they'll make you think that you're going to have this great relationship. And you guys, and you've got this good-looking, young guy that went out and found a picture on Google to post on a profile. And then they'll slowly break it down for you. They'll have you send a picture of maybe you in your underwear. Or maybe you in a cheerleading outfit. Or maybe something a little bit provocative, but not naked. And then you know what they do? They take some of those pictures after you start to do it, and then they start to blackmail you. They say, hey, I already got one picture. Send me more. And now you're already in so deep, you can't stop. You don't feel like you can tell them, I don't want to send anymore, because they start to threaten you. They say, hey, you don't send me another picture, I'm putting this thing up for everybody. I'll put it on the internet. That's the reality of how it happens. It's slow and progressive, and they are very, very convincing. These are not people that are not good at what they do. They practice all day, every day. They sit down, they go online, they practice. Be careful. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated or groomed by these types of people.